like to call to order the regular public meeting for the Scotch Plains Fanwood Board of Education, January 30th, 2018. And Mrs. Saradaki, would you please call the roll?
Ms. Spora? Here. Ms. Brody?
Yeah.
Dr. Clancy?
Here.
Mr. Murray?
Here.
Mrs. Suriani? Ms. Williams?
Here.
Ms. Winkler?
Here.
Dr. Kulikowski? Here. Mrs. Bowden?
Here. Quorum is present. Thank you. Please join us in the salute to the flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So the board just met in executive session and discussed personnel issues, HIB, and legal issues. And announcements for the meeting tonight were given to the Borough Clerk of Fanwood, the Township Clerk of Scotch Plains, and to the Times. So we have 3 additions to the agenda: out-of-district placements, field trips, and our MOU with law enforcement. Is there anything else? Don't think so. So now we get to the exciting part of the evening, and why we also have some wonderful visitors with us. We have some exciting instructional updates, and do you want to introduce our first one? Very exciting
Okay.
recognition.
So tonight it is our honor to welcome Cheyenne Jones. Cheyenne, would you like to come forward and give a shout out to your parents? And you can probably best stand by that mic because then that will pick you up. So Cheyenne has the honor of being our high school's first recipient of the Poetry Out Aloud. Is that the name of the contest that our high school English department supported for the first time this year? Go ahead.
It's a great honor to be the representation of the Scotch Plains family.
And we're in for a treat tonight because in order to get the lead position at the high school, Cheyenne obviously recited, and she's here tonight to share that with us. And this is a great time for her to practice one more time because she's moving on to the state level competition. So the mic is yours, Cheyenne.
Enemies by Wendell Berry. If you are not to become a monster, you must care what they think. And if you care what they think, how will you not hate them? And so, become a monster of the opposite kind. For where then is love to come? Love for your enemy, that's the way of liberty. From forgiveness. Forgiven, they go free of you and you of them. They are to you as sunlight on a green branch. And you must not think of them again, except as monsters, like yourself, pitiable because unforgiving. Thank you.
Cheyenne, don't run away. Come on. Cheyenne, come back.
So we have a certificate. We wanted to recognize you for being first place at the high school, and also wish you our best wishes for the competition on February 7th.
Thank you so much. The folks that are going to get to hear all of that forensic poetry are just going to be so fortunate. And thank you for being here. The next people that we would like to bring up tonight is, we have a very, very special honor. Sabrina Delalo. Could you come forward, Sabrina? And at this time, I think Brian Miller and Dave Heisey would also like to come forward because Sabrina is being recognized. You can go to the mic. Sabrina is being recognized. Oh, and there's Kevin Ewing. Come on up, Kevin. Come on up. So maybe Kevin, you get the honor of introducing and sharing with our audience the wonderful reasons why Sabrina is here.
Sabrina DeLillo was selected as a Regional All-American for the United Coaches Association. It's an award that's given out to only a handful of student athletes in New Jersey, New York, and Pennsylvania. She's one of, I think, 6 or 7 from New Jersey that were selected. She was selected because of her hard work and effort, and other coaches throughout the state of New Jersey recognized her ability this year, and she was selected for this award. Sabrina is a very hard-working student athlete. She's an excellent student in school. It was a pleasure to coach her over the last 3 years, but again, we haven't had too many All-Americans. We've had a small number of regional All-Americans, and Sabrina is a great addition to that list. Sabrina DeLillo.
So we're very pleased to have Ms. Tanya Williams read our certificate resolution for you.
And this is certainly congratulations. Whereas Sabrina DeLillo, a senior at Scotch Plains Fanwood High School and a member of the girls' varsity soccer team, has been honored by the United Soccer Coaches and as a Mid-Atlantic Region All-American, and whereas Sabrina has been a 3-year varsity starter who contributed to the soccer team, being recognized 3 times as Union County Soccer Champions, winning 2 conference titles, as well as participating in 1 sectional final. While being a member of the varsity team, Sabrina helped the team compile a record of 55 wins and 6 losses and 9 ties. And whereas Sabrina was primarily a defensive player in her tenure, she helped the defensive line create 43 shutouts in her 3 years on the varsity, playing 70 games. She was also part of a defensive unit that allowed only 41 goals against Scotch Plains Fanwood in her 3 years on the varsity team. This is a tremendous line for any defense. And whereas Sabrina's quiet leadership and tremendous work ethic and competitiveness has made her stand out throughout her career at Scotch Plains Fanwood High School, now therefore be it resolved that the Scotch Plains Fanwood Board of Education recognizes and commends Sabrina DeLillo for being recognized and selected by the New Jersey Soccer Coaches Association as one of the top 20 girls soccer players in New Jersey and in North 2 region, and for being selected by the United Soccer Coaches as a Mid-Atlantic Region All-American, and extends best wishes for her continued success.
Yes, is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
I knew it would be unanimous. Congratulations. We're very proud of you.
And now it's my pleasure to call forward Ryan Miller. Dave Heisey may want to say a few words about this as well. Mr. Miller has received the Sectional Award of Merit from the Directors of Athletics Association of New Jersey. And we have a resolution to be read on his behalf as well. Dave, I don't know if you wanted to add anything else.
Yes, Ryan Miller is our assistant principal for athletics, so of course, this gives him the responsibility of overseeing our entire athletic program, which is, of course, a monumental task. Athletics brings out the best in people, and at the same time, bring out the worst in people. And Mr. Miller does an outstanding job in terms of overseeing the athletic program, working with the coaches, and dealing with all the ins and outs of being responsible for high school athletics. So he's been recognized by the NJSIA, has actually received an asked to serve on one of the committees of the NJSIA, which is a great honor when you're recognized and given that responsibility. So, Mr. Miller, congratulations.
And Mr. Evan Murray's going to read our resolution.
So I do the short straw. In the short time, I'm by far, anybody who's going to answer a call to go to school business for soccer, 6:30 in the morning, you can remember. He's always available, so the resolution is whereas Ryan Miller, Assistant Principal at Scotch Plains Family High School, has received the Sectional Award of Merit from the Directors of Athletics Association of New Jersey for his outstanding accomplishments and contributions to the athletic program at Scotch Plains Family High School to our state section North 2. And whereas honorees are nominated by their peers for their leadership in their school, conference, county, section, and state. Items that are considered for the award are performance of the school's programs, athletic directors work on conference, county, and state level committees, and performance at the state or national conference. And whereas Mr. Miller has served on numerous New Jersey State and Scholastic Athletic Association committees, presented for 3 consecutive years at the state conference, and has been published in the National Interscholastic Athletics Administrators Association magazine this spring as a co-author of the Student Athlete Leadership Team article. Now therefore be it resolved that the Scotch Plains Family Board of Education recognizes and commends Ryan Miller for his many achievements and dedication to the student athletes at Scotch Plains Family High School, and extends best wishes for his continued success.
I'd also like to give a short shout out because I believe your family is in the audience, right?
Yeah, yes. The people that I leave behind to come and do all of this wonderful work came out. So to my wife Jessica, who lets me go and do this, and to my 3 children, Isabel, Dylan, and RJ, I couldn't do this without their support and without their love and honor. So thank you so much for what you're doing.
Thank you. So
Thank
why
you, everyone.
don't you let them come up and take a picture
Yeah.
of you?
And,
Okay.
and while you're doing that, is there a second? for them?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So it's official now?
Yes. So come on up to the photo op because
Hopefully they like athletics.
Right. You guys share him with us all the time, so.
Yes.
Come on up. All right.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
All right. In accordance with Scotch Plains Fanwood policies 0164 and 0165, we have the opportunity for anyone who would like to come to the microphone and speak. You have a maximum of 2 minutes, and please give us your name and the town in which you reside.
Good evening, my name is Jennifer Power, 21 Essex Road, Scotch Plains. I'm here with Barbara Natty, and we are here representing the PTA Council this evening in a reverse honor. Our President Lisa Shiroku would be here, but she apologizes for not being able to come. It's our pleasure to be here to honor all of the board members sitting at the front table for donating your time and talents to the families and children of our school district. We know very well how it is sometimes difficult to balance schedules, but you make yourselves available to continue working to improve all aspects of our school's district. Your knowledge and experience is so valued. We want to say thank you for serving in your role as Board of Education members. You are proof that volunteers are people who don't want to be thanked for helping others, but want to thank others for giving them the opportunity to help. As Helen Keller so truthfully said, alone we can do so little, together we can do so much. So without further ado, the PTAs would like to give each member a small token of appreciation for your commitment. When we call your name, please come up to the podium. Cindy Clancy.
Picture.
Deb Brody. Evan Murray. Thank you. Karen Kolakowski. You're welcome. Nancy Bauer. We thank Stephanie Soriano in her absence.
She's at a concert tonight for her fourth grader.
Oh, right. Putting her time somewhere else, of course. Tanya Williams. Amy Bora. And last but not least, Amy Winkler. So cute. Stephanie there, yeah. And again, thank you so much for all of your service, and I apologize for going over my 2 minutes.
Wait, before you sit down, I just wanted to say that the fact that you all come out on a night when I know everybody's had busy days to take the time to do something so nice is a tribute to you all. And also, I want to highlight for the public, I don't know if they'll watch this before, but I think we're going to have a coffee next week, and so maybe we want to mention that to the public and encourage them to come, right?
Yes, I don't know the date.
I think it's February 6th.
February 6th at Park Middle School.
7:30.
7:30, thank you for the fill-in. The PTA hosts a coffee with the Board of Education. It's kind of a roundtable discussion, but very casual. So if you have questions for our board members, it's a place where you can come and feel comfortable asking something that might be on your mind. A lot of questions are brought up and lots of good discussion happens on issues that are happening in our district or concerns you might have or things that you might have heard murmurs about and you want to have them straightened out, all kinds of things. But it's a really general venue, casual, for you to take advantage of if you're interested in finding out more what's happening in our district. So we do welcome you all to come. 7:30.
And I think it highlights what you were talking about with Helen Keller and collaboration. We really appreciate the collaboration and all the hard work the PTA does and the opportunity to work together. So I know I speak for everyone. And you've gifted us with many members of the board.
Hopefully we can continue. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, I believe maybe we have one committee report, shared services, since the last meeting.
I do have a shared services report. The committee met on...
Oh, yes, don't feel like you have to stay for all the...
You're welcome to, but we understand.
But if you don't want to hear committee reports and all week, you can watch it on TV.
I'm sure
Thank
they'll
you
be rushing
again.
to do that.
Congratulations to all our honorees.
Thank you.
Sorry, Amy, I didn't mean...
Worries?
I have to put Amy B and Amy W now.
I like the Boroff and Ruger.
Could just call us by our last names, maybe.
Or Cagney and Lacey. We said Cagney and Lacey.
Do we have the
But then we have to figure out which of us is Kathy and which is Lacey, and everyone has to remember.
But she's in here. It's an addendum.
All right. So the Shared Services Committee met on January 25th and discussed a handful of things. We talked about the computer training that we're putting together for the senior citizens. Dr. Heisey is going to send some dates over. Some dates over for when it's possible to do this. Students from the National Honor Society are going to be tutoring the senior citizens in the use of various computers and cell phones and such. We discussed the fair housing litigation. Scotch Plains has reached a settlement, which probably all of you know by now. It's been in the papers and it's on their website and everything. It looks like if all of the different areas that were part of the settlement do end up getting built to what they're looking at, it could be about 580 new living units. They're not expecting a lot of that to be families. A lot of it will be 1 or 2 bedroom apartment type units, but there are some that'll be 3 bedrooms and things like that, and so there is the potential that it could affect the schools down the road, but it's hard to say what will be developed and when. A lot of these properties, I know Beaucraft has been something that's been up in the air for many years now, and every season they open it again, and so you know, it is what it is. We'll have to see how things go as over time. We talked about the PAL program that the police were looking to run at the middle schools. The program last year was very successful with a number of students participating, and so they are going to select 4 dates for the coming program that they'd like to run, 2 at each of the middle schools. Last year they were running it for 2 hours. This year they're looking to shorten that to just an hour and a half. They said that 2 hours was a little long. They were starting to lose attention and things like that. But at the hour and a half mark, kids seem to still be pretty well engaged, and so leave them laughing. They mentioned the December 12th presentation that they did with the staged car accident that they worked with DECA on. They thought that it was a powerful presentation and that the students had gotten a lot out of it. They talked about the hidden in plain sight presentations. Tonight, the Municipal Alliance Committee is presenting Vaping 101 at New Providence High School, which has been going on for almost an hour now. But as we're all here, none of us are attending that. We did have some discussion about the possibility of possibly bringing it in to our district specifically, and how we might be able to make that happen. They talked about the Parents Who Host Lose the Most forum that they do. They did it at Union Catholic recently. They had a really good turnout for that, and they suggested they would like to maybe bring it into the district here and do it shortly before prom or graduation, potentially. We mentioned that all 3 entities now, Scotch Plains, Fanwood, and the board, have all approved renewal of the contract for JPM, who is the coordinator for the shared services that we do. There was a short discussion at our regular meeting about the fields behind Terrell Middle School, and then a second meeting afterwards. The gist of the two coming together are that we went out for bid to get the Union County Kids Recreation Trust Fund grant. We were expecting a sum of money, of which we were given a much smaller amount. It's not really sufficient. The amount of money that we would have to put up each of the three entities, we really can't take from what we're looking at for our budgets for the coming year to try to make up the difference for what we're not getting from the county. So we're looking to table this at this time. And we can look at it again in the future, but as part of the settlement with for housing in Scotch Plains, they did tell us that that Parker is donating to them, was it 2.5 acres of land on which they are planning to put like a soccer/baseball field and parking. So hopefully that can help to alleviate some of the issues we're looking at now. I think that's about it. We'll meet again on April 20th.
Okay, thank you very much.
I just wanted to add, because
please do.
I was at that meeting. If anyone listening, I was confused by the housing issues and how that was all working out. And I did go on the Scotch Plains website, and there is the PowerPoint is there that describes everything as it's being planned, as it's not being planned, because I know there's a lot of talk about it around town. So if you go on the website and look up the PowerPoint, it'll give you each site what at this point is being proposed, as well as maps and diagrams. So it was helpful to me to go and read that through. So just throwing that out there.
And just as background, because I don't know that I know in many places, the towns and the school districts are not meeting in a shared services format. So we're very lucky here in Scotch Plains and Fanwood that there is this opportunity to look at saving money, applying for grants, and coordinating about common issues of concern.
And this committee, this shared services committee has been coming together for about 20 years now doing this. We've been looking into it. The JPM, the consultant that we're using, had done a couple of different studies early on about the possibility of merging the two municipalities into one. And while that never happened, a number of the suggestions from the report did happen. And we're still looking at different things we can do. We're always looking to see where we can keep costs down and make everybody happy.
Well, I do think it's a model, and thank you for our representatives who represent us there. So that brings us, I don't think there were any other new committee reports, so that brings us to the superintendent's report. Dr. Hayes?
Thank you, Mrs. Bauer. Tonight, I would ask that the board approve 1S, the out-of-district placements. A and B that are listed on the agenda are changes in placement, and then on the addition to the agenda, you have one additional placement, which is a new placement for an out-of-district placement that's needed for a student based upon their educational needs.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Thank you. 2S, I would ask that the Board of Education affirm the superintendent's decisions in the 5 cases that were reported for harassment, intimidation, and bullying that were reported during executive session on December 21st.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Thank you. 3S, tonight I would ask that the board approve the 2 field trips that are listed on your original agenda. That's Terrell Middle School students who are going to go to Dorney Park in Allentown. These are the students that participate in the Homework Club, who are the Agents for Change Student Leadership Group and the Heroes and Divas Group. The second one is that we have approximately 18 students who are going to be traveling to the South Orange Performing Arts Center on February 7th. This is for the Poetry Out Loud State Regional Competition. As we opened our meeting tonight, this is the one where Cheyenne will be performing, and we're happy that the other students that participated in that competition are going to cheer her on. Thank you. And then the last one is the Students in our 12th grade business class, approximately 5 of them, wish to travel to Governor Livingston High School in Berkeley Heights on February 1st. They will be competing in the Union County Finals for the New Jersey Department of Education Consumer Bowl.
So moved.
Second.
Any comments or questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
I realized that Ms. Boroff wanted to do an abstention on 2S, Mrs. Saradaki. Good. I should have asked for that. Thank you.
And then 4S tonight, I would ask that the board approve the proposed 2018-19 school calendar. This is essentially the same calendar that we presented at our first meeting in January. The only additions to it are the 3 half-day sessions that will be the back-to-school nights that are noted on the calendar. Once the calendar is approved, then we'll move forward with working with our Teachers Association to select which night we will do the evening conferences for the elementary schools.
So moved.
Second.
Any comments or questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Thank you.
Abstentions?
Okay. 5S, I would ask that the board approve the classes that are listed for the Creative Summer Workshop. These are the classes that are proposed for that activity. If we don't have sufficient enrollment, sometimes we don't run a particular session, but these are the ones that we are hoping will be well subscribed and will run in the summer.
So moved.
Second. Any comments or questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions?
Thank you. And then 6S tonight, I would like to ask the board to approve our district goals for 2017-18. These come out of our strategic planning initiative. At our meeting in the first part of January, I did share with you these goals. Since we've met, we added one more objective, and that is to convene a district health and wellness committee to assess current levels of programming and supports and complete a needs assessment to inform program recommendations. This will be evidenced by a report that we share with the board curriculum committee, and I want to thank everybody for their input into these goals.
So moved. Second.
Any comments or questions? I do want to say for the public that at the last meeting, there were also opportunities in addition to at the committee level and in between to call and so forth. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions?
Thank you. And then 7S tonight, I would ask that the Board of Ed approve the Memorandum of Understanding with Law Enforcement. This is a new memorandum that we are now required to have. Any school district that uses surveillance cameras has been asked to have an agreement with their local law enforcement so that there's clarity as to who is accessing the cameras, at what points, whether they're accessing interior as well as exterior. We have worked collaboratively with Chief Conley from the Scotch Plains Police on this, with Debbie Saradaki's leadership, and we have come to a good resolution. And so tonight, we would ask that the board approve this memorandum of understanding so that we can forward this information on to our county office.
So moved.
Second.
Any comments or questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Okay.
Thank you. And then finally, I would ask that the board approve the Personnel Committee reports and agendas as discussed in exec this evening. And this is the roll call.
So moved. Second.
Okay. Karen? Would you please call the roll, Mrs. Saradaki?
Dr. Kulikowski?
Yes.
Mrs. Winkler?
Yes.
Mrs. Boroff?
Yes.
Mrs. Brody?
Yes.
Dr. Clancy?
Yes.
Mr. Murray?
Yes.
Mrs. Williams?
Yes.
Ms. Bauer?
Yes.
Thank you, and that concludes my report.
Thank you very much, Dr. Hayes. We have another opportunity for the public. If there's anyone who would like to come to the microphone, this is your opportunity. You have 2 minutes. Please give us your name and the town in which you reside. Seeing no one, we're going to move on to the business functions. Mrs. Saradaki.
I'd like to group these if nobody has an objection.
Okay.
1 BUS, I'm asking for the board to approve the superintendent's recommendations for staff training reimbursements on the report dated January 30th. 2 BUS, I'm asking that the board acknowledge receipt of the disbursement listings for the month of December 2017 for various bank accounts. 3 BUS, I'm asking for the board to acknowledge receipt of the district school security and fire drill reports for the month of December. There are no related services. Yes, there are, I'm sorry, on the additions to the agenda. 4 BUS, I'm asking the board to approve related services for home instruction from Brookfield Schools in the amount of $10,000. 5 BUS, I'm asking for the board to approve the submission and acceptance of funds in the amount of $623 for eCyber Mission Challenge mini grant. This was a grant for one individual teacher. 6 BUS, I'm asking for the board's approval of Aquarius Capital to provide the actuarial consulting services for post-employment benefits for our fiscal year 2017-18. It's required for our audit at a cost of $8,500. This is the same price we've been charged for several years now from this company. 7 BUS, I'm asking for the board to approve a contract renewal with Prevention Specialists for our randomized DOT testing at a cost of $250 per year. 8 BUS was approved at the January 18th meeting. 9 BUS, I'm asking the board to acknowledge receipt of the board secretary reports, treasurer school fund reports, and budget adjustments for the month of December 2017. 10 BUS, I'm asking for the board to approve bills for the period December 16th, 2017 to January 25th, 2018 in the amount of $986,811.01. 11 BUS and 12 BUS were both approved at the board meeting on January 18th. 13 BUS, I'm asking the board to accept the grant awarded to Park Middle School from the 2017 ExxonMobil Educational Alliance Program in the amount of $500 to encourage studies and careers in math and science. This is one of our local Exxon stations which puts in for this grant for the district every year. 14 BUS, I'd like the board to approve frontline education for ETC on-demand post-hire training courses in the amount of $17,600 for the time period of 9/1/17 through 8/31/18. 15 BUS, I'm asking the board to approve the renewal of Honeywell's service agreement for the period of March 1st, 2018 through August 30th, 2018 in the amount of $4,087.50. This is a transition between this program and another. This will give us more time to determine if we want to keep both systems or if we are able to transition over to another contact system that we have. In this case, there was no cost increase to divide the year in two. So if we decide to go for another 6 months after this, it's another $4,087.50. They totally took the full year subscription and divided it in half. So 16 BUS, asking the board to approve submission to the county office for approval of the facility applications for temporary instructional space at Brenner Elementary School. This is for our preschool programs, and the waiver we have to apply for is because the facility's square footage in the classrooms are smaller than what today's standards are. If you're building a new building, you cannot build classrooms the size of the ones we're using, so we're applying to the county for a waiver for these. And I believe that's it.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second? Okay. Any Any comments or questions about any of these items?
Yes, I had a question. For 14 BUS, frontline for ETC, what is ETC?
I'm going to defer to Dr. Mast for that.
I'm not sure what ETC is, but that particular module is part of our observation system, and it provides targeted training for teachers and staff.
That was one question I was going to ask. The temporary space, is that something that we have to do each year?
We are now. This is something we just became aware of through the application for the Ellie Grant.
I see.
And they've set new requirements for preschool-sized classrooms. Unfortunately, our buildings weren't built. All of our classrooms, except the ones at Brunner, meet the preschool size, and so we have to
Just didn't remember doing it before.
We haven't.
Okay. Anyone else, comments or questions? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Okay. So board policies.
Okay. Sorry, I'm writing. Okay. I would like to move that the board approve for second and final reading, adoption of the following policies. Policy and Regulation 2418, Section 504 of the Rehabilitation Act of 1973, students. Policy and Regulation 5116, Education of Homeless Children. Policy and Regulation 8330, Student Records. Policy 8350, Records Retention. And that's it at this time.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, any comments or questions? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions?
There you go, the abstention on that one, because I wasn't here for the reading of it.
Okay. Amy, you're going to go on with the next group?
Yep. I would like to move that the board approve first reading for adoption of the following board policies. Policy 0169.02, board member use of social networks. Policy 3437, military leave. Policy 4437, also for military leave. Regulation 5460.1, high school transcripts. Policy 5516.01, student tracking devices. Regulation 7101, educational adequacy of capital projects. Policy 7425, lead testing of water in schools. And Policy 9242, use of electronic signatures.
Okay. Is there a second?
Second.
I need to start looking to the left first. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? Okay. New board business? Other board business, requests to attend workshops? Workshop reports? I think you might have one, Dr. Hayes.
Well, you're talking about Garden State?
Yes.
Yes, okay. Yes.
I know of one, you may have
Yes.
others.
So I had the privilege of attending our Garden State Coalition of Schools meeting on January 24th, 2017. The primary discussion point at that meeting was we welcomed Jackie Burke, who is from the New Jersey Council of County Vocational Technical Schools, along with Scott Moffitt, who is the superintendent of the Morris County Vocational School District, and Chris Hartraff, who is the Somerset County Vocational Technical School District. They presented to Garden State on the emerging role of vocational technical schools throughout the state. Each county has its own vocational school network, similar to the one that we have in Union County, but in each county it's a little bit different, and they Some of them are only shared time programs, but others in other counties are full-time programs, such as we have here. Part of the reason that they were there was to create a dialogue with the superintendents and the board members who are part of the Garden State Coalition, so that we can gain greater understanding of the movement forward. There is potentially a bond referendum or a referendum that's going to be up for public consideration on the expansion of vocational schools. And since in some cases school districts share students with them, and in some cases we're in a send relationship where we send tuition dollars to support those, it was important to come together to talk about those initiatives. So that was the primary focus of the meeting. In addition, Betsy Ginsburg, who is the president of Garden State, updated us on some bills of interest that are out there for approval by the Senate legislation and the Assembly. And of course, they always talk about funding updates. We don't know too much yet about the status of school funding for the next school year. As the new administration takes over in Trenton, we're waiting to hear what is going to transpire with that. And in fact, some of that is being delayed.
Yeah, I was going to say he's been given extra time, right?
Yes. So stay tuned as to how that may impact our budget timeframe.
And our board meeting.
Right. So other than that was what we talked about, and their next meeting will be in the evening at Cherry Hill. They are attempting to do some evening meetings with Garden State this year in the hopes that more board members and administrators will be able to attend. So recently they did one up in Ridgewood, and the next one will be in Cherry Hill on Wednesday, February 21st. So if you're interested, by all means, let us know, and you're welcome to join us.
And they do on the website, again, you don't have to have a code or anything anymore, and they do talk about these bills that they are considering. So the website is actually updated and very good. It's a good resource. Thank you, Dr. Hayes.
That was this month, right, Dr. Hayes?
The one that we just
January 24th?
That's the one that we just attended, January 24th. It should have said 2018. Yeah,
okay.
that was, Betsy.
Checking.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yeah, I didn't resurrect an old agenda. That was what we did that day.
Okay, so we have one resolution to recognize Black History Month this month in February. If I have anyone who would like to read that resolution?
I will.
Okay, Mrs. Winkler.
Whereas the Scotch Plains Fanwood Board of Education recognizes the extensive civil, social, and religious contributions made by African Americans, including residents of Scotch Plains and Fanwood, and whereas the board further recognizes the vital importance of affording all residents of Scotch Plains and Fanwood, especially young persons, the opportunity to study and understand Black history, both nationally and with respect to the communities of Scotch Plains and Fanwood and the County of Union, for the purpose of ensuring that our citizens, especially young persons, are fully familiar with the entire history of human experience. Now therefore be it resolved that the Scotch Plains Fanwood Board of Education hereby proclaims the month of February 2018 as Black History Awareness Month.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, I know no one's opposed, so. That brings us to committee assignments for 2018, which are attached. So can we have a motion to accept these?
So moved.
Second.
Anybody have any changes or corrections? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Actually,
Oh, go ahead.
I did have, wait.
We can.
Where did I see it? Hang on. Did I miss one? Oh, yeah. Actually, for PTA council, Stephanie should be first, I should be second, like I'm going to be her backup.
Okay.
Or PTA council.
Okay. It is on here somewhere.
It's
Second page.
on the back. Yeah, you have to,
Oh,
you have to turn
yes,
the page.
okay. Oh, here. Any other corrections or additions or questions? Okay, we'll do it again. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. And let's see. That brings us to the approval of the minutes for December. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions?
Stay.
Okay. And then we have one final opportunity now for anyone who wants to come to the microphone, according to Scotch Plains Fanwood Policies 0164 and 0165. Seeing no one, what about the good of the order? Anyone have anything that they would like to
Oh, yes.
share?
I
Well,
was
Dr.
at-
Clancy. Okay.
I was at the Union County Swim Championships, where both our high school girls and boys teams did very well. The girls came in first in Union County again, a lot of strong performances, and the boys came in third, and also a lot of wonderful performances. It's a very positive day of, team and rah-rah, and it moves quickly, so that's nice. Sorry for those parents who are watching. Anyway, so it was a great day.
Thank you. That is a wonderful performance. Anyone else? Okay, well, then, is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor? Aye. All right, thank you very much, everyone. We'll see you next week, I believe. February 6th already next week, yes. At the coffee, if you can attend. So we'll be looking forward to that.